A very good morning everybody. This is Dr. Meenakshi and today I am going to discuss a very popular sonnet of William Shakespeare with you. My today's sonnet is The Marriage of True Minds, that is also called as Sonnet 116. Now we very well know that Shakespeare has composed the sonnets and in the memory of his great friend, and some people believe that he has also mentioned or also considered a black lady in his verses. So basically the idea behind Shakespeare's sonnet is he wanted to convey that everything around the world is materialistic, everything is going to fade away sometime, someday, but there is certain things in this world which are not going to end, and in this sonnet and through this sonnet basically he has tried to propagate the same idea. In earlier sonnets that we have discussed before, he has talked about that his verses, his compositions are having that power, that strength, that the beauty of his friend, beauty of that dark lady can be sustained forever through his verses. In this sonnet he has actually focused, as such the name defines, the marriage of true minds. He has talked about the concept of love, the concept of the bond of love basically, and he has stated that this is a very beautiful bond which is not going to end any time, because this is having such an eternity, such an attachment, such a supreme power and strength that is going to bind it forever. So let's start with the sonnet. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impedance. Love is not love which alters when alterations find, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose words unknown, although his height be taken, loveth not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error and upon me proved, I never writ nor no man ever loved. Now as such we have just recited the sonnet, and while reciting we have encountered that obviously this is a sonnet, it is going to be of 14 lines. Shakespearean sonnets are popular for iambic pentameter, right? And also here in this sonnet we can find out there are quatrains. These 4 lines, the next 4 lines, and the next 4 lines. So there are 3 quatrains in this sonnet and ending with a couplet of 2 lines, right? So in this first couplet, let's make the rhyming scheme first and then go with the meaning of the poem. We have a rhyming scheme of A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F. And the final couplet, this is G, G. So from this we got to know the rhyming scheme opted by Shakespeare in the sonnet is A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. G, G for the final couplet. And for quatrains, this is the rhyming scheme. Okay, now switching to the meaning of this beautiful sonnet by William Shakespeare, the very first line, let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments, love is not love. Now here we know the word impediment stands for hindrance or an obstacle. So the very first line indicates, let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impedance. That means I am not at all declaring or accepting the fact that there is no possibility that two minds can have a bond. They can have a love between them, they can have a marriage. So nothing can stop the marriage of two understandable people who are in love with each other. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds. So love is basically that kind of an entity which is not going to alter, which is not going to change because of the change in anything. So it is a kind of a fixed entity which is not going to change or alter because of any alteration or change in anything. Whether the person is present or not, the physical presence doesn't make any difference. It is there that the two people are going to have a kind of a bond of love between them, but it is not necessary if one person is physically present, the second must be there. Although despite the fact they are geographically apart, they are not present there, but still the bond of love exists there at that point. So that means love is not going to alter in any situation. Either they are physically present there or not, or any other hindrances there. Love is not going to hamper their bond. The distance is not going to hamper the bond. The love is going to sustain, the love is going to exist there, right? So love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. That's what I stated. It is not going to change if the second person or the first person is displaced from their position. If the person is not physically present there, it is just not like the phenomena out of sight and out of mind. So this is basically the presence of this beautiful emotion, the beautiful bond of love doesn't need the physical presence of the lovers, despite the fact they are going to have that love in their heart. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken. It means it is an ever fixed mark, just like we have a kind of a lamp or light, which actually lighthouse, which gives light to those ships who are sailing at night. That lighthouse is not going to change. It is a kind of a fixed thing. It is not going to get away from its position because of the tempest, because of the ocean quakes. It's not going to move. The tremors in the ocean will not change the position of that lighthouse. So basically the bond of love is just compared here by the poet Shakespeare with that fixed mark, with that lighthouse which provides the light to those ships who are sailing through that ocean or sea, that looks on tempest and is never shaken. And just like that lighthouse, this beautiful bond of love is never shaken by any sort of tempest, by any sort of hindrances, any sorts of shakes. It's not going to move, or it's not going to hamper. It is the star to every wandering bark. And again, now here the poet is calling the beautiful bond of love and comparing it with a star. Basically the North Star, which gives direction to the sailing boats. It gives direction to the sailing boats. Here it is compared with that star, and the star to every wandering bark. Whichever bark which is wandering in the ocean, it is giving direction to them, whose words unknown although his height be taken. It's not mentioned, it's not realized the worth of that North Star. Although it's very far away from Earth, and to us it seems very tiny, very small, but it's basically the star's worth or its importance is much more, because it is somehow providing direction to those who are passing through, who are expecting a direction from the star. They actually have made the star as a reference point, and now they are getting direction from this star. So this star is basically representing or symbolizing the beautiful bond of love, which is giving direction to all those who are wandering here and there. And this beautiful bond, although to people doesn't have any worth as such materialistic worth, but it possesses a lot of spiritual or moralistic worth. Love is not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Now here in this line, what Shakespeare has stated, love is not time's fool. A very beautiful line which states that love is not time's fool. It stated that love is not bounded by time. It doesn't stay, or it comes with time. Actually, it is a very beautiful feeling. We can't restrict it in a specific mode of time. Though rosy lips and cheeks, although it has been considered and it is said that this feeling of love or the maturity is attained by a human with certain age, where the lips and the cheeks, they have got the maturity color, they have got rosy, their beauty symbolizes actually their physical maturity. But although that has been a condition, because at that time a person, a child or a man has got a physical maturity, it shows that person has got a idealistic intellectual development also. Now here love is not time's fool, that means it is not bound by time, it is not restricted by time. Within his bending sickle's compass come, love alters not with his brief hours and weeks. Now what does it mean, within his bending sickle's compass come? Just like a compass, it has 2 feet. One point has to be fixed so that the other point can complete its task. So it is just here also compared with that compass, in which one participant or one member of this beautiful bond will have to be stable, will have to bend a little so that the other member, the other partner can move ahead and can do some good thing in their life. So basically this line stands, this line gives a beautiful message that this bond of love is a bond of support. You doesn't have to stick to that person, you doesn't have to follow that person all completely. You are free to do whatever you want, because love never binds you with anything. It sets you all free. You have to grow, you have to prosper, it becomes your support system. So basically here it has given a beautiful reference of a sickle's compass, because in compass we have two legs, and in the beautiful bond of love we have 2 partners, where one has to get fixed and the other has to bend a bit so that they can have an understanding. But ultimately what happens in a compass, the partner comes back to the second one. That means the other end of the compass has to come back, it comes back to the first end. Similarly, the true love, the true bond with the support, with the trust, obviously attracts the other partner back when we sets it free. Okay, now love alters not with his brief hours and weeks. The brief hours and weeks of absence, that means that for a brief period of time when the person is not physically present over there, it doesn't change anything, because the bond is still very strong, still very intact, full of care and support. So it is not going to alter at all. So this is a beautiful bond, this is a beautiful feeling which is not going to change with the changing situation or circumstances, just like the compass they have mentioned as a case of a compass, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. And it is such that this beautiful bond is such that which is going to stay for the time till the doom day came, till the life is ended, till we are going to have this beautiful bond with us. Now here the poet in the couplet states that, if this be error and upon me proved, I never rich nor no man ever loved. Now he's totally changing the tone of the sonnet, going so far. Here he has totally shifted. He is saying, if there is some error upon me proved, that means if there exists some error upon the words which I have stated over here, the comparisons that I have made over here, if there is some error, some problem, or I never rich nor man ever loved, then I will never write ever again such sonnets, I will not compose such things, and there will be no man there who will be in love again. Because I am writing these things, I am writing the sonnet, I am writing the references, because it is just presenting what actually the beautiful bond of love has presented. And my writing, my verses are based on those actual experiences, and because this bond is going to stay forever, so my writing is there to support it, and there will be no such errors which are going to prove that the bond of love is going to change or it's not fixed. So basically in this beautiful sonnet, The Marriage of True Minds, the poet has tried to give an idea where he wanted to promote the idea of love. Basically he believes, and he has shown an optimistic approach towards this beautiful bond, where he has stated that two people, if having good understanding and having a true care and support in their heart for each other, they can face any situation, they can mend any obstacle which is coming in front of their way, and their love is going to be unconditional forever. That's all that Shakespeare had stated. So I hope it's been clear to you. Thank you and have a nice day.